It's the Colossal Tussle Podcast, episode 19. But before we get started with the episode, here's the thing.
18.
What?
18.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because it's going to go on to episode 18 while we record episode 19.
Yes.
My name's KJ Johnson.
Let's go.
Alongside the incomparable Just John. And, yeah, before we get started, we have to seriously talk about some of the biggest wrestling news that just couldn't wait until next time, because we have a couple of absolutely incredible things. First, top of the list, we were talking about this. I think on last episode we discussed this.
Was it or was it 16? No, yeah, it was last.
Yeah,
it was the last episode.
Yeah. Vince McMahon has officially announced his retirement as CEO and chairman of the WWE. / upon hearing the news of this retirement, Brock Lesnar has walked out and quit the WWE altogether, saying, quote, "If he's out, I'm out." What the hell is going on?
And I remember last episode we were talking about how slow of a news week it's been, and they gave us a run for our money now.
Yeah, this has been a hell of an hour.
Holy shit.
One hell of an hour. So Vince McMahon, he released a statement on Twitter that at 77 years of age, he thinks that it's now time to retire. So he's going out on his terms, apparently. He's going out on his own shield.
Listen,
by his rules, not because of anything else going on. Vince McMahon is making the decision for Vince McMahon.
Listen, I saw someone say this on Twitter, and I'm just going to echo their statement.
Yes.
And they basically said that whatever other news is gonna come out in the next couple, because we're recording this like a minute after hearing. Yes. So whatever news is gonna come out in the next couple weeks must be so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That he's like, hey, let me just back out now.
Yeah, because we were talking and we were kind of theorizing this idea that would Vince McMahon sticking around hurt the WWE? We were of the consensus of no, but evidently it's quite a doozy.
Yeah. I feel like either a major sponsor is threatening to pull out if he's still there, or again, I'm liking that other theory. Maybe something else is coming that's like, hey, we gotta get this guy out of here before it hurts our brand type of thing. Right?
Well, I mean, once you've accumulated $15 million in hush money, along with the possible sexual harassment of a wrestler and a referee in the 80s.
Then there was the whole fighting God thing.
Yeah,
It's been...
He's done a lot.
Yeah.
He's been an animal. So the tweet here that I have that I've retweeted on our old Twitter, at 77, time for me to retire. Thank you, WWE Universe. Then, now, forever together.
What a crazy old man.
Yeah. Standing at currently 141,000 likes, 58,000 retweets, and 11,000 comments, mainly of which are saying goodbye, good riddance, maybe WWE will be watchable now. I would like to state for the record that we stand with you, Vince McMahon, and the reply of that was saying, please don't ever speak for all of us again. Among other things. So this is quite divisive.
But can I be honest though? This is, as fucked up as it may sound, this might be like the perfect send off for Vince.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's this batshit crazy guy, and he's gonna leave. He's gonna retire, but also burn everything down as he's leaving.
Scorched earth.
reputation in the fucking mud. Yeah. Like this is such a Vince way of calling it a career.
I mean, you know? Jesus Christ.
Like, I think anything else would have not been right.
No.
This is just
no.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, he's gonna drift off into retirement, whether or not that's true, and he will still be, you know, on the phone.
Because that's another thing. Because when they said that he was gonna step down a couple months ago, like the same day, the same day there were reports that like, he's back here, he's running shit like normal.
Still in creative.
So he is retiring, but then he leaves his kids at the top. So it's like, how retired is he?
Because he'll be a phone call away.
Yeah,
I'm sure the advice will still be there.
Is it more of like, hey, let's let this blow over so none of this affects the company, and then come back when it's done?
Right.
Or is this a legit like, hey, I'm retired?
Yeah, I highly doubt that. He seems like a man that he will not stay away.
Listen, Ric Flair's having his last match in a couple months, so that generation's tough as shit.
Honestly. But if this does result in a send-off, I mean, because theoretically speaking, at this point, he can't waltz back in like a few months' time. We're talking, it'll be maybe years before we ever see or hear of Vince McMahon again.
Probably on television screens? If they're inducting him in the Hall of Fame one day,
which they won't. They won't induct Vince unless he's dead, because Vince won't allow that, I'm sure. So that piece of business is big in of itself. But as we mentioned, Brock Lesnar has walked out.
The main event of SummerSlam.
That is the only thing that they've built around again.
And we are recording this on a Friday, and tonight should have been, is the go-home episode for SummerSlam.
Yes. Yeah.
And on the go-home episode of SummerSlam, your main event is like, fuck it, I'm out.
He's gone. So what are they going to do?
Yeah.
So the SummerSlam main event has gone up in flames. The WWE is in tatters.
And again, another good quote from Twitter. Someone said, "Hey, Austin Theory was a Vince McMahon product, a Vince McMahon guy.
Yeah.
You know, so what's happening with his push now? And he's the Money in the Bank holder. So it's a lot of shit that now they have to kind of just figure out on the fly."
Honestly. Good Lord. There's so much happening in this little bit of time. It's going to make SmackDown tonight pretty interesting.
Hey, listen, and this is why Vince is Vince.
Yeah.
He was not going to drop this news on a fucking Tuesday. On the night of SmackDown. Yeah. Get those views any way possible. And that's why I think he's not retiring. He's not... Because this is way too strategic for him to just be like, this is my send-off. Like, no. This is to pop the ratings.
Good Lord. Yeah. I'm going to be very intrigued by what happens. More intrigued than I was when, the allegations first came out and Vince was going to show up on SmackDown. What is going to happen to the main event?
Quick question before we get on to the show.
Yes.
Stephanie, Nick Khan.
Yeah, they are
co-CEOs.
Co-CEO.
Triple H, head of
talent relations, so took over the John Laurinaitis job.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, this is about what I expected to happen. I still think that Nick Khan is a weird choice. I don't know where this man came from, but all of a sudden he's the most powerful man in the WWE.
Yeah.
However, Triple H being head of talent relations, that rings all of my bells, because if NXT is anything to go by, the influx of talent that he might be able to bring in will be a breath of fresh air.
Because this whole thing, it got me thinking, because now this creates a whole fucked up landscape in wrestling. Because now in WWE, you have the Vince McMahon guys, which are Nick Khan, Bruce Pritchard, that whole creative. And now you have the incoming Triple H team. Yeah. So now they're going to be colliding a bit. Certainly. And then you have wrestlers that left WWE for certain reasons. Now signed with AEW, now signed with whatever the fuck, New Japan, whatever. Absolutely. Hearing this news and kind of being like, I kind of like Triple H.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a very interesting couple of weeks, man.
Could be a good swing of momentum for WWE, or it could be the nail in the coffin. Could be one of the first nails in the coffin that doesn't really show its effects until years down the road. Yeah. But regardless, we will see. But on with WCW Monday Nitro review.
Yep, let's do it.
Indeed. Colossal Tussle Podcast, episode 18, where we are live and the action is fierce.
Holy shit.
It is episodes. I, the total package, KJ Johnson, alongside the Weasel.
Just John, what the fuck?
Just John!
We had a good thing going for like 2 whole episodes.
Yeah, it was
and
too long.
And you throw it all down the drain.
It was too long that I was taking it easy on you. The heat had to be brought back, and what a way to do it!
Oh, man.
We're reviewing Monday Nitro 1996, my sir. How you feeling?
Feeling great.
How's
feeling
the
lovely.
Day been? How's the week been? It's been hot here in Toronto, Ontario.
It's been hot all over the world, apparently.
Yes,
people dying and all that stuff.
People are frying up a storm. Frying up a storm. But how are you holding up?
I'm here, buddy.
You're here.
We made it, bud.
Yeah.
How about you? How's your day? How's your week? How's your life going?
Soggy and humid. That's me. Sogging all over the place.
Sounds moist.
Yes, very moist. Very moist indeed. But it's been good. It's been good all around, okay? I'm as I was in the Attitude Era. I am deep in WCW nostalgia. All right?
Fair,
1996 era, Nintendo 64, WCW versus NWO World Tour. Huh? Get some of that WCW NWO revenge going on.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a fucking classic.
So that's what's going on in my life. Interesting to note that WCW NWO revenge, no sign of Ric Flair at all.
I want to get a 64 just to play all those games.
You need to.
All those games are so fucking good.
Yeah. And the N64, it lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
I had my N64 for like 20 years before it finally gave out on
me. Oh man,
20
nothing beats
years.
The classics. Nothing beats the classics.
Nothing beats the classics. So before we jump in to WCW Nitro of November 18th, a very historic episode indeed, we have a bit of admin, just John.
Yes,
we have a bit of admin. Yes, we are going to discuss what happened following Halloween Havoc. Because this is the go-home episode that we will be reviewing for World War III. So we've had a whole month of activity. A whole month, John.
Yeah, so about
what's been going on?
Three Nitros have passed since Halloween Havoc.
Yes.
I'm around down some topics here. You tell me your thoughts on how you feel about them.
I will chime right in.
So after Halloween Havoc, NWO's kind of in control of everything.
Certainly.
Interrupting matches, cutting promos in between matches, basically causing havoc all over WCW.
Yeah. And Randy Savage is nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found. Neither is Piper.
Yes.
They keep, for the whole 3 episodes of Nitro, they keep coming out saying that they've been trying to get in contact with Piper, with his lawyers, Eric Bischoff, going up to the old ranch, trying to see if he can find it. Cannot find Piper.
No.
They're trying to make this match happen, but they can't find Piper.
Exactly.
Also, throughout the episodes, there's the Nick Patrick, Chris Jericho storyline.
Yes.
Nick Patrick even in bringing in his attorney, and saying that it wasn't his fault that he counted too slow, yada yada yada.
Yeah, he's been screwing over Jericho week after week.
Yep.
Teddy Long is all of a sudden with Jericho for no explicable reason.
None at all.
And this is not just happening on Nitro. This is also taking place on WCW Saturday night as well.
I did not see those.
Yeah. This has been taking place on Saturday night. So this is a storyline that is stretching over multiple forms of television.
Yeah. Then we have Jeff Jarrett. He's trying to lead the charge of this whole WCW versus NWO stuff. He's claiming to be a member of the 4 Horsemen.
That's right.
The other Horsemen are like, no, you're not a part of this.
Yeah, the only endorsement so far has been by Ric Flair.
Yep.
And Jeff Jarrett getting a little too big for his britches.
A little bit, yeah.
Because on one of the Nitros, I believe the one previous to this one, Sting comes out from the crowd and then just drops Jeff Jarrett with a Scorpion Death Drop. A side note, just a quick side note. Because Jeff Jarrett is going to be at SummerSlam this year, I've been getting a lot of related videos of him on on YouTube, and I was watching him explain Bash at the Beach 2000 and when he lays down for Hogan and all that controversy.
Okay.
And then one of the comments says, the 2 biggest stars in the business never wanted to do business with Jeff Jarrett. Why is this? Because Austin never wanted to do business with him. Hogan never wanted to do business with him. And Sting is out there just dropping his ass on a random episode of Nitro.
Poor Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett got the raw end of the deal.
Jesus Christ.
There's something wrong with old Jeff.
But he's trying.
Yeah.
He's trying, buddy. He's trying to lead this charge, and just no one wants anything to do with him.
No.
Also on these shows, Ted DiBiase wants Sting to join NWO.
Right.
NWO for the whole 3 episodes, they've been talking about this Cable Ace Award. I guess it's like a TNT award for something. I should have done research, but I did not.
It wasn't worth it.
Okay. Because they're like, where's our invite? Blah, blah, blah. So that whole thing was going on for the whole 3 episodes.
Yes.
On the episode before this one, they debuted a Roddy Piper music video called I'm Your Man.
I'm Your Man.
Yeah.
In preparation for his basically what it is that it's only slightly alluding to the fact that he wants another match with Hogan, because in the video for a split second it has Hogan versus Piper on a screen.
Oh my god.
It's just for a split second. It's just the stupid part of the video. And the thing is that it's a love song. So it's kind of weird because it's are they saying that he's in love with Hogan? He's in love with the match idea of beating up Hogan? Or
oh man,
they just did not do their research.
I was watching the episode, and I even remember because this guy comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he's running in with this package, and he's trying to get Tony Schiavone to read this letter that he wrote with this. He's like, just open the pack. You're gonna need to see this. And again, I've never heard of this music video.
No.
This is my first time kind of being in this era of WCW. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What's in this video? So now I'm curious. Now I'm actually watching this random ass episode of Nitro.
Yes.
Because I'm like, what could this be? And the notes like, oh, we got some footage of Piper and all this other shit. And then they play the video, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
It is so out of place for the time period.
Yes. Because at first I'm like, oh, they want to embarrass Piper, and I'm like, no, this is like a legit music video he tried to do.
Yeah, we need to play it here a little bit.
Yeah.
For our listeners,
so they can understand what the fuck.
Yeah, just have a little taste of I'm Your Man.
I've been watching you all night, 'cause everything about you, it's so right. The way you look, the way you move, the things you say, the things you do. Oh baby, I've been looking for you all my life. And if you're looking for someone that'll treat you right and never cheat on you and never tell you lies, honey, if that's your plan, I'm your man. And if you want somebody gonna love you best until forever, baby, then forget the rest. 'Cause honey, only one man can.
What a load of shit. What a load of shit.
Yeah, so listening to the video, I guess he wants Hogan to be his, or he's Hogan's man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is what isn't clear.
I don't get it.
Why would you play this? Without any context. Because they come back from the music video, they're like, oh yeah, well they laid that out, didn't they? He wants Hogan. He wants it. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, I guess they mean,
What the fuck?
Piper wants Hogan.
He wants him. He wants him.
This feud just got weird, buddy. This feud just got very sexual.
A weird pivot from Halloween Havoc, I'll tell you. Not everything was all roses.
Yeah, so that's basically been the WCW world leading up to this Go Home episode of Nitro.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Well, I mean, thank you for that. Just John doing all the digging, all the research.
Every now and then I gotta show why I'm here.
Yes.
It's for these little moments.
These are the reasons. These are the reasons. Gotta pay the bills.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, without any further ado, we need to get into Monday Nitro, November 18th, 1996. Nitro, November the 18th, 1996, from the Florence Civic Center in South Carolina. Yeah, we're in the Carolinas. We're in Flair country.
Yep.
As it would be told. So I mean, I don't have a bunch of numbers.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't have a lot. But what I do have is the TV ratings.
Okay, that's fair.
Right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So the overall TV rating,
especially for a random Nitro show, that's amazing.
Right? But this is a historic Nitro. Oh. Let's not forget.
True.
Let's not forget. TV rating was a 3.2 overall. Okay? Now, Raw got a 2.4 rating. All right. Okay. Now, to be fair, during the 1996 period, Raw was only operating at an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they had a whole other uncontested hour. Did Monday Nitro? So they were, they were holding strong and getting the extra hour added to their overall viewership. However, for the first hour, going head to head, hour on hour, a 3.3 for Monday Nitro. So even with just the 1 hour, they were still pulling in considerably more viewers than that of Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
So how do you feel about that?
I don't know too much about TV ratings, so I'm just gonna wing it here. So, whoa, that's impressive.
It is quite impressive.
Okay, good thing.
Right?
Good. I got the right reaction.
There was over 3 million people watching Monday Nitro.
Just say that then.
Well, listen. 3. I need the specific numbers. All right. I am nothing if not professional. Okay, not like you. Just throwing random figures out.
Listen, I got here on time today. What else do you want from me?
Bully for you. All right, so let's jump in because this is exactly what Nitro did.
Mm-hmm.
Nitro just jumped the fuck in because we opened the show with the outsiders already in the ring. Steel chairs in hand and a whole bunch of enhancement talent laying out on the floor.
Yep. Yeah. After a good 2-3 minutes, I was waiting for them to put the last week after we went off air, but no, it was live. Yeah, it was live.
This is what's happening. So the outsiders attacked all of the participants in dark match.
Mm-hmm.
We have High Voltage in there. We have the Nasty Boys. We have some Mexican wrestlers that were deliberately unnamed.
Okay.
So the outsiders hit the ring with the steel chairs. We come on. We're already live in the ring.
Yeah.
Then the outsiders head out. They go over to the commentary table where Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko, the living legend, are standing by. And then they grab some microphones and they start basically big leaking Tony. All right, they start bullying Tony Schiavone
because apparently Tony laughed at them.
Yeah.
On one of the previous episodes of Nitro.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of start bullying Tony Schiavone.
Rag on him. They talk about how Tony's got the bad neck.
Yeah.
And, they threaten. They're like, do you want to pick up your kids? Do you want to pick up your kids?
Listen, that was a badass line.
It's terrifying.
That was a bad, that's one of those lines that doesn't need an explanation. Exactly what they mean by that.
So the outsiders, they bully Tony, and then they cut a promo on the Faces of Fear.
Mm-hmm.
Ming and the Barbarian, they're calling them out. They want to fight, they want to bring it on.
Yeah.
They're fighting champions, are the outsiders. After they don't get anything from them, they go to the back.
Yeah, they basically say, if you guys aren't going to come out, we're just going to go find you.
We're going to go to you. So they head to the back and immediately are met by the Faces of Fear, who seemingly brawl right out into the parking lot.
Yeah.
So, we cut to commercial break.
When they come back from commercial, they're kind of explaining what happened with the outsiders and explaining that it was a dark match and what yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
But Tony Schiavone's pissed.
Yeah.
He is pissed that he's blaming Larry. He's like, Larry.
But he starts out fine.
Yeah.
He's like, we were just having this thing happen and, it's unfortunate. And then the outsiders, they come here and they get in my face. And Larry, you could have helped me at any time.
And Larry's just like, what the fuck do you want me to do, buddy?
And Tony just reads Larry the riot act.
Yeah, he's like, I have 5 kids. I have a bad neck. I don't have, I don't have time for this shit.
No, and he's like, listen, if you think that you can run the broadcast, you run the broadcast. And Larry's like, I never said that.
Larry's just so confused, the poor guy. He's just like, what the fuck is going on?
So Tony throws down the headset. He walks out. Unfortunately, we're not going to get any Tony Schiavone commentary tonight.
And Larry's like, fine, I can do this by myself. Yada, yada, yada. And then, the wrestlers are making their entrances.
Yes.
And the first thing Larry says as he's the only person on commentary is like, I don't know too much about these guys. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, he can do it all by himself.
He's like, I can do it all by themselves. The second the music hits, he's like, so I don't really know too much about these guys. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What are we in for tonight?
Well, what we're in for is match number 1.
Yep.
La Parka versus Juventud Guerrera.
Juvie.
Yes, exactly. So, we get at the beginning of the match, Juventud and La Parka are exchanging, trying to get some strikes off.
Yep.
Juvie is the first to land with a leaping spin kick, and then leaping from the top rope as well.
Yeah.
Both men exchange some chops, and then La Parka with just a vicious kick right to the face.
Yeah.
Just whabam. And then Mike Tenay, the Savior, joins us at ringside.
I've never been so happy to see that man.
Listen, we needed somebody that can call the moves. That know the wrestlers and call the moves.
I don't think Larry just being like, he did a flip was going to be good for the entire...
I think they were going to let Larry do it, and then as soon as he was like, I don't know very much about these guys, they're like, oh, fuck. Where's Mike? Where's Mike?
I think at one point he was like, yeah, that's a like a big Mexican guy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, someone.
Very unorthodox look for this Mexican parka.
And I'm just like, someone, please save this man. And apparently they understood and were like, all right, let's save this man.
Absolutely. Juventud pulls off a big clothesline, but tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by La Parka. La Parka with the scissors and sends Juvie right out to the outside, and then follows that up with a suicide dive.
Yep.
Back into the ring. Juventud Guerrera gets up on the top, and LA are jostling for position here.
Yep.
But it turns into a springboard Rana by Juvie. Only a 2 count. A springboard moonsault that nearly misses, and Juventud almost lands on his head, but La Parka actually runs up to him in order to catch him. So thank God La Parka knows what he's doing. But then Juventud, that does not deter him from trying another springboard attack. Only he gets a drop kick right in the
beautiful
guts.
drop kick too.
Yes, fantastic. Mm-hmm. Good opening match for sure. La Parka then manages to go for a diving crossbody to the outside, and then back into the ring, lands a surfboard stretch, trying to get a submission attempt. But Juvie gets out of it quick and goes for a pin attempt, only a 2 count. Top rope drop kick by Juventud, and then a shoulder into the post for La Parka there. Commentary then takes the time to mention that Eric is struggling to sign the match between Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan. Yep. Eric Bischoff is searching high and low to pin down Roddy Piper.
Listen, we're 4 episodes in and he just can't find Piper.
Yeah, and Roddy also not here tonight. People have been speculating that he might be here, but just rumors and innuendo. One thing for sure, though, Hollywood Hogan is here.
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood Hogan is in the building. Back to ring action. Juventud tries to go up and over on La Parka, but is caught. But Juventud is still able to grab a pin attempt, but a near fall. La Parka with a big body slam here and a top rope senton, but it misses. A tight, small package, but Juventud Guerrera gets out. Then a DDT by Juvie. And then a tornado DDT by Juventud Guerrera after a kick out. Still a near fall after the tornado, though. La Parka able to counter a spinning top rope Hurricane Rana.
Yeah.
Lands a corkscrew dive out of nowhere and picks up the win. I was actually quite shocked about this because Juventud Guerrera is a guy that later on in life gets quite the push.
Yeah.
And I thought the seeds of that would be planted here, but no, La Parka gets the win.
Listen, and this is like, for me, when it comes to Lucha Libre versus Lucha Libre wrestlers, it's kind of hit or miss because Lucha Libre, when not done right, can be very sloppy.
Yes.
Even when done right, it kind of looks sloppy, but these guys fucking were tearing it up in there.
Yeah, like, they did an excellent job with the little bit of time that they were given.
Yeah, aside from a couple moves here and there, everything was hit clean. And this was such a great way to introduce, because this was La Parka's first match in WCW at that time. So, like, this was a great way to introduce this new guy that's kind of gonna be in the promotion for the next couple weeks and all that stuff. So this was a really, really good opener.
Totally. Yeah, excellent opener for Monday Nitro. And as we're going to see, later on, as we were discussing in the Halloween Havoc review, that, you could find whatever you wanted on an episode of Nitro. Yeah. Anything that you wanted, any flavor of ice cream, they had it. And you're going to see it here because we get quite the wide variety.
Yeah.
So after that, we get a video recap of Ultimo Dragon being hyped up. He has 8 championships under his belt from all over the world.
Yeah.
And he's looking for the 9th one. The Cruiserweight Championship as held by the man that won it at Halloween Havoc, Dean Malenko.
And look how helpful. Just a small video package introducing what this person has done in other promotions.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Some promotions might need to kind of
take a look at this shit. Take a look at this.
Because if you didn't know who this man was before, you saw this little video package, and now you're kind of hyped to see this match.
Because when he walks out, he's got 8 titles on him. He's carrying all 8 of them. And if he just walked out without a package, you're like, what are these belts?
Exactly.
What is this?
Like, when did WCW have 8 belts, and when did he win them all?
Like, who is this man? So, yes, the video package, very helpful indeed as we move into the Cruiserweight title match. Ultimo Dragon challenging Dean Malenko for the strap.
Yep.
The Dragon on top to start, working the leg of one Dean Malenko. A series of kicks by the Dragon showing off the top speed.
We get a little side-by-side video package of Rey Mysterio.
Indeed.
Saying that he wants his belt back. Then he's got next.
Yes.
Whoever wins.
Yes, he's got next. Handspring back elbow by the Dragon. Dean follows that up with a clothesline in the opposite corner, though. Overhead suplex by the Dragon. Only a 2 count. A spinning heel kick sends Dean Malenko to the outside. Back in, and the Dragon is up to the top. Dean catches Dragon on the top rope. Tries for a moonsault, does the Dragon, though. But Dean able to move out of the way. A cloverleaf attempt by Dean Malenko, but Sonny Ono is on the apron, but Dean takes him out, does a little up and over to the old Sonny Ono.
Yep.
And then, but in the meantime, Ultimo Dragon comes running at Dean and then up and over the top rope, which in WCW, I'm afraid, results in a disqualification.
Which confused the fuck out of me. I didn't know that rule beforehand.
Yeah, this is we're in the dying days of the NWA rules still being in effect, because this is very much an NWA thing. Something that would have been in Jim Crockett promotions.
Okay.
All right? Yeah.
Yeah, that confused the because I thought he got DQ'd for hitting Sonny Ono.
No, not the Bono. Instead, it was an over the top. So Dragon picks up the win, but not the title, good sir.
But this was a good match for what it lasted, especially with Dean Malenko kind of trying to get his offense in and getting reversed every chance he got. Like, it really gave Ultimo Dragon like that, like, holy shit, this guy's actually like a threat to the title type of feeling.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that DQ was kind of bullshit.
A lame finish. It was a little bit disappointing, but I'm assuming, or I'm hoping, that it's going to be, this is just the setup to potentially more coming down the road.
Yeah.
I don't know what Dean Malenko's doing at Starrcade. I'm not sure. I believe at World War III, he's fighting against Psychosis for the belt.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens later on down the line.
But so far in our little WCW journey, the cruiserweights are looking good.
Standouts.
There's a lot of matches that are being set up, a lot of faces coming in and out, so it's looking pretty good.
Yeah. A recap of Sherry Marpale and the Harlem Heat. Colonel Robert Parker has turned his back on the Harlem Heat since Halloween Havoc. He is now joined up with the amazing French Canadians Carl Ouellette and Jacques Rougeau.
Yep.
The amazing French Canadians. So this is a recap of Sherry nearly Unfortunately, not to be, but this story is far, far from over.
Yeah. So we cut to match number 3.
Yes.
The Amazing French Canadians. And no, we're not hyping them up. That's exactly what their name is.
That's what their name is. Rightfully so.
Exactly.
Well, the Amazing French Canadians.
Remember, this is a Canadian podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to have any of that Canadians are heel BS here.
Yeah. None of that.
They're going up against the American Males.
Mm-hmm.
Real original name there.
Did you hear the song? Did you hear their song?
No, because I knew it was going to be something like
American Males, American Males, American Males, American Males. That's their song.
I'm gonna have to stop skipping because every time I skip stuff, I find I'm missing some funny shit.
Missing something pivotal.
So it's just a guy repeating American Males
basically, yeah.
Fucking love it.
If I find a song on the old Spotify or anything like that, we'll splice it in right here. We'll do a little splice in.
Okay. Well, while you do that, Robert Parker comes down with the Amazing French Canadians.
Yes.
The Amazing French Canadians then sing an amazing rendition of the only national anthem that's worth singing. And also, I've been Canadian my whole life. I always forget that there's a whole French part of that theme song.
Yeah. So that's what's
then
happening.
Then the American Males come out with their terrible "We're American" gimmick. American Males who are
Buff Bagwell and Scotty Riggs.
Yes,
yes,
always forget
and they're waving the old U.S. of A. They're waving the flag.
Yep, and I hate. This is why I hate this gimmick. And no, you're not gonna stop me. This is why I hate this gimmick.
Oh no!
Because you can just come out with the flag and just chant USA, and the whole crowd's into it.
Yeah,
this is some bullshit. That's like the easiest way to get fucking people on your side.
Yeah, man.
Oh
what
man,
what are you supposed to do?
Anyways, the fucking American Males, they come out and they're cheating using illegal tag team moves.
Certainly.
You know,
the
2 men
kicks,
in the ring,
double clotheslines.
You know, and the refs not giving them shit because they're going up against Canadians, and we always get the short end of the goddamn stick.
Oh my god.
You know, and even with all the cheating, one of the French Canadians, they're showing their amazing endurance, doing some kick-ups in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, Jacques
and
you know, with the kick-ups.
And they're like, hey, you Americans, you try that, and they don't. You know why? Because they're cowards.
Yeah, they can't do it.
They're goddamn cowards, and instead they want to continue on with this wrestling match.
Absolutely.
You know, some bullshit.
Jacques Rougeau gets a monkey flip by Scotty Riggs at one point. And so they try, and Jacques Rougeau is going to try for the monkey flip of his own, but instead he gets a fist drop right to the noggin. So this is not great. But then it's a miscue.
Remember, closed fists are illegal in wrestling.
They certainly are.
So they're
illegal.
Just more cheating.
Yeah. This is unacceptable behavior by the Americans. But the American Males, they miscue. Okay, Buff ends up hitting Scotty Riggs with a drop kick, causing the Canadians to capitalize most respectfully. They isolate Scotty Riggs. Double teamwork by the Canadians, all completely legal. Carl Ouellet nails Jacques, but Bagwell gets the hot tag. Delivers the double noggin knocker, running some fire, drop kicks, clotheslines. People are into the bags. But then, once again, another miscue. Scotty Riggs ends up nailing Jacques Rougeau, but the heads collide between Jacques and Buff Bagwell.
They're just not as smart as the Canadians. I said it.
And not to mention, the Canadians have much tougher heads, much tougher brains. They can survive the noggin knocker and still be able to pick up the victory.
Yes,
so the Amazing French Canadians with Colonel Robert Parker seize the day.
That's Canadians 1, Americans a big fat 0.
Absolutely.
It's called the fucking loony, guys.
Yeah, glory to Canada.
But in all seriousness, this match was pretty stupid. This
Yeah.
match was stupid.
It wasn't great.
All throughout.
But I think it serves a purpose, twofold, actually, because we have the dissension between the American males, which has been going on for quite some time,
Mm-hmm.
and then we also are able to put over the amazing French Canadians now with Colonel Parker, because they're going to be heading on to face Harlem Heat. And Harlem Heat, they really don't have any other tag teams that are on their level. You would assume that the Steiner brothers, the Faces of Fear, they're going to be tag team championship bound. So you have Harlem Heat, and they need some competitors. So being able to give the Canadians a win, helps to elevate them a little
because
bit.
even in a couple of these shows, you see that Booker T and Stevie Ray are kind of doing singles work because there's not
much for
enough
them.
team. Yeah,
There's not enough for them. So that is one thing. They've got some of the greatest tag teams ever in the Steiners, Outsiders, Faces of Fear, Harlem Heat, but the lesser tag teams are just they can't always be fighting the
it's
top
not
talent
balanced.
forever.
Yeah, it's not balanced.
So good for them. They're at least trying.
Also, one thing that we're gonna notice throughout this whole broadcast is every time a wrestler will come out, Larry would be like, "Oh, this guy is gonna be in World War III," and like after a while, it kind of gets annoying because it's a 60-man Royal Rumble. Everyone on this fucking card is gonna. You don't have to keep telling us they're gonna be in World War III. And another thing I found funny is every time Larry would mention NWO, he'll call them the New World Order.
Yes,
which I feel like deep down he think he hit it out the park with this one.
Yeah, and he will call them that for years.
Oh my god.
4 years. Every time the New World Order is a big part of the show, Larry is right there. The New World Order.
Because the first time I heard it, I was like, okay, that's pretty funny. After like the 5th time, like someone told him it sounded great, and that boosted his ego, and he's not gonna stop. And he did not stop. The entire broadcast, he says it. And I'm just like, call him the NWO. Like, just
no, sir.
Come on.
Not at all. Hugh Morris versus Lex Luger is match number 4 on the docket. I don't know if there was anything in between the Canadians versus match number 4. Was there anything?
Not that I know of.
Great.
No.
Good. Because I don't want to talk about Hugh Morris any more than I have to.
That's fair. That's fair.
So we are just gonna dive right into this shit. So Lex Luger has been on a tear, all right? And Lex Luger's on a winning streak of sorts. Lex Luger is the man to beat, and he's also going around and he is racking everybody in sight.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, Lex Luger versus the 300-pounder Hugh Morris, yada yada yada. Hugh Morris with the body slam to Lex Luger right out of the gate. Then we get a cheap shot as we go to picture-in-picture with a promo from Arn Anderson.
Yeah, and he just wants to... Just a quick promo, same thing as Ray, just kind of saying like, hey, I want to fight Luger again. I'm Arn Anderson. I got a gun.
Yeah, and I got to respect you, and, whoever throws each other out of the World War III, we're going to be better men for it. Makes no sense, but all right, Arnold.
That's exactly what an Arn Anderson promo is.
Lex Luger gets hit with a suplex, but he powers up, and then a suplex of his own does Lex Luger. Luger is fired up, but is sent into the corner by Hugh in a big splash. Luger knocked down and Hugh to the eyes, right to the just a big old poke to the eyes with the feet. Big clotheslines by Lex Luger and a big back elbow by Luger. Top rope splash by Hugh Morris, who maintains control, but it ends up missing. Lex Luger gets right on back up, tries to go for the torture rack. He does drop him. But referee Randy Anderson calls it a submission anyway. Yeah.
And then you can see Luger and the ref, and Luger's like, well, I want to keep racking him. And the ref's like, he tapped. I don't know what you want. It was the weirdest shit ever because he's arguing with the ref even though he won. And I was like,
Well, because
what's
you
your
dropped
argument?
him.
I know, but you won. Just take your win. But he's just like, come on, ref. I wanted to keep putting him in the torture rack. And the ref's like, he tapped out.
I want to look good, man. I want to look good. Anyway, it is Mean by God, Gene. Mean Gene Okerlund is back, baby.
Yep.
Back in the fucking hot seat.
And he comes down to the ring to interview Lex Luger about World War III.
That's right.
But Sting comes out to the ring.
Yep.
Where he has the bat in his hand.
He's got the bat. He's wearing the all black.
Yep.
He's got the white face paint.
He puts the bat to Lex Luger's chin.
Yep.
You know.
He pushes him back with the bat. Pushes him into the corner. Lex Luger looks like he's about to, like fucking come to blows.
Yeah.
Like, come on, buddy. Come on, give it to me. And then Sting just hands him the bat. Walks on out.
And
no
then,
words spoken.
Mean Gene's like, Luger, what does this mean? And Luger's just like, no, he just walks out. He's flabbergasted.
He's got nothing else to say.
And he leaves the ring and that's it.
As a man that's watching this show for the first time, okay? This is for you.
Okay.
Because I've watched this show.
This specific show. Okay,
I've
okay.
watched this show a couple of times. But you're a first-time watcher.
Yeah.
You see Sting do this, right? You see Sting come out, and you know the backstory, that he's gotten screwed over. He's going all dark and gothic. He does this segment. What do you take from this segment? What do you think Sting is doing in this segment?
Well, from my interpretation, again, I haven't seen the rest of it, so I don't know.
Yeah, just from this segment, like imagine you're back in 1996, same age as you are now, because that would be fucked up.
A 1-year-old watching this.
But you're back in 1996, you click it on, here's Nitro, here's Sting and Luger. What do you take from this?
From my interpretation, is him wanting Luger to pick sides. Are you team WCW or Team Sting, I guess, at this point, versus NWO? Because that's Sting's whole thing, right? That's what I got from this as like a person who hasn't watched this all play out before.
I have no fucking idea what this is supposed to mean.
Because that's like what I got from it. It's like, he kind of pushes Luger and then he gives him the bat, like, hey, because you've seen Sting come out and do the what's it called, the scorpion death drop on certain people, and then pushing Luger. It's like, oh, are you gonna be part of my team? Or that's what I got from this. Like,
I've watched these kinds of segments for years and years, and I can never understand point to point what the fuck he's doing. Because, like you said, exactly. Like, sometimes he's coming out and he's beating up WCW guys. Then there's other times where he's coming out and he's pushing people with bats and then handing them bats and being like, like, take a shot or fight. I don't know what it means. Because in the same... It's all WCW guys that he's hitting, or handing the bat to. So it's
because when you see, it's like Jeff Jarrett's trying to build like this, this force. But I think Sting is like, hey, I kind of don't trust you, so he's doing the death drop, and then he's going to Luger, and he's like, well, I trust you, so here's a bat. I think that's like his end game.
All right,
he's like weird and gothic, and like, that's his way of like.
Part of me thinks that they had no idea what they were doing.
They're just winging it. They were just winging it and being like, let's just see what happens. Let's see what people respond to.
Let's see what the crowd does.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, because honestly, I can't make heads or tails of it. Hour number 2 begins with Eric Bischoff and Bobby the Brain Heenan on the desk.
And this is how... that this is like a rivalry with WWE, because their introduction to hour 2 was so over the top. I was like, oh, come on, guys. They're like, we got an hour 2, buddy. Oh, love it.
Yeah, so it's Eric Bischoff. For the first time, we're going to be hearing Eric Bischoff on commentary. Now, there's notorious hilarious interviews and comments about how Eric Bischoff was the fucking worst on commentary. He didn't know any moves. He didn't tell any stories about the wrestlers and yada, yada, yada. So I was very interested having to go in and dissect and listen to everything and watch everything around me. Just how does Eric Bischoff fare on the desk? Because he's the head commentator for hour number 2.
And before, I was going to leave this topic for last, but since we're here, fuck it.
Yes.
Where do you stand on the different types of commentary? Do you prefer a guy that's more entertainment, where like it's JR and Jim Ross and even Bischoff to a certain extent, where it's like I'm here for entertainment purposes? Or do you prefer, like, let's say, like an AEW guy like Excalibur, or a guy that's more like, hey, I'm going to do like a professional, like know these moves and know the backstory to each character and like really get in? Like, where do you stand on commentary? Because I prefer like a mix, because I also don't like when they go too far nerdy with it, because it kind of ruins the story purposes of it. But I also don't like when they go full JR, and it's like, hey, they're doing a flippy thing, and it's like, all right, like I like that middle ground. But where do you stand on it?
Well, I think you need one and one. I think you need somebody that's, that's why it was the announcer and color commentator, right? Like you're supposed to have, or you should have, like, I think of TNA in the early days with a Mike Tenay and Don West.
Okay.
I think that is, I don't like Don West, but
you like that idea.
There is the perfect combination there, because Mike Tenay is the professor, so he knows the moves, he knows the backstories, he knows the guys, and Don West is the guy that's, can you believe that?
That's fair. Yeah.
So I think you need a little bit of both. That's kind of like, I think that's what you need, rather than, off the top of my head, somebody like a Vince McMahon and Jesse Ventura, who don't know shit about shit.
Yeah. we spend a couple episodes watching their commentary. So
I think you definitely need one or the other.
Okay.
Yes. A recap of Nick Patrick and his funny business towards Chris Jericho. It ends up being announced that it will be Chris Jericho versus Nick Patrick in World War III, where Chris Jericho will have one arm tied behind your back.
Every Nitro episode I've watched, my only thought is, why are they fucking doing this? Why? What? Like, I'm like, it's to a point where I'm actually intrigued for World War III, because I'm like, there has to be a big payoff to this. Why are they doing this?
There may or may not be a payoff.
Oh my god.
As we move into match number 5, Johnny Grunge versus Chris Jericho. Now, I have a question for you.
Oh no.
Yes, Just John, because you're watching 1995 ECW, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you know about Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge.
Yep, Public Enemy.
Public Enemy, yeah. Question, what is the fucking point of these guys? What is the appeal? Why do they exist?
Listen, I've watched most of 95 ECW.
Yes.
I've seen Public Enemy in matches.
Yeah.
I've seen them cut promos.
Exactly.
I've seen them do all this stuff. I don't understand them. I do not, for the life of me, like, I don't get them.
Yeah.
Like, from the first episode I've watched, they come in and the crowd's really into the whole waving thing.
Yeah.
I don't even like the theme song. So I'm just like, what part of it? Because they're just doing like regular hardcore matches. So there's nothing.
The appeal?
There's not. And if you see their promos from 95 ECW, it's gonna make you even angrier, because you're like, it's their promos are some of the, again, this is my opinions, maybe someone out there loves these promo styles.
Yeah,
but
tweet us Tweet us at the Colossal Tussle.
But
if you were a fan of Rocco Rock, Johnny Grunge, if you were a fan of these guys, fucking tell me why.
If you watch some of their promos, they do these weird voices when they do these promos. Because I know for a fucking fact that's not their voices.
Oh, no.
It's all like squeaky and like it's fucking terrible. Their matches are all right, but it's nothing for you to like, you know, fucking tune in to see. And then the stupid wave thing, like, I don't know. I don't know what their appeal is. I thought I was going to come in today and you were going to be like, oh, I love Public Enemy.
Fucking absolutely not. Absolutely not. But these motherfuckers were everywhere. They worked every major company.
And the crowd fucking loves them.
Yeah.
In 96. The crowd, 95, 96, the crowd loves Public Enemy. They love the wave. I don't get it.
Bizarre.
I don't get it.
I'm gonna have to tweet Paul Heyman.
See if he can get to the bottom of this.
Get to the bottom of this shit. Johnny Grunge will be taking on Jericho. I don't know where Rocco Rock is, but that might be a blessing in disguise. So a hip toss by Chris Jericho and jumping back kick. To start us off, Nick Patrick is quickly out in order to scout the competition. Jericho gets hit with a back suplex by Johnny Grunge here. But Jericho gets right back up, goes to the top rope, tries for a moonsault by misses, and a clothesline by Grunge. Jericho is able to recover, hit a triangle drop kick to send Johnny to the outside. Jericho slides under the legs of Johnny and then trips up the foot, pulls him off the apron. Grunge with a face full of apron. Grunge then grabbing a chair tries to use it to deliver a really shitty clothesline. Grunge then grabs himself a table. This is a no DQ match.
Yeah, because
we must point. Or excuse me, this is not a no DQ match. We must point out.
Yeah, but apparently, according to the commentary team, unless he uses the table,
that's right.
It's not a DQ.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's weird.
Yeah. So Jericho is set up onto the table. Yeah. Johnny Grunge grabs the steel chair, goes to the top rope to deliver some type of maneuver, but ends up missing and crashing through the table himself. Top rope drop kick by Chris Jericho and picks up the quick win. So yeah, at least the right man won, I guess. Well, that
whole thing, yeah. I didn't like the ending with it just ending as like a drop kick.
Yeah.
And being like, especially after you bring out the tables and the chairs, it's like, how are you going to bring all that out and then finish the match on a drop kick?
Well, you got Johnny Grunge who flops through the table, and then that's all you need, right? That's the meat and potatoes.
And
go home.
And I feel bad for those ECW guys because like just because they were in ECW, like all their matches are now like automatically have to be hardcore.
Absolutely. Redonkulousness. So. Back from break, and here comes the NWO.
No. At the end of the match, Mean Gene, he's on the ramp and he's interviewing.
This was such a good promo that I forgot it entirely.
He's interviewing Jericho, and Jericho's talking about the one arm tie behind his back match.
Yes.
Then Teddy Long comes out and he's like, "Hey, I might have jumped the gun here, making it I might have bit off more than I could chew here."
Yes. Because one thing to note is that Teddy Long was the man that made the flippant comment that Chris Jericho could beat Nick Patrick with one arm tied behind the back.
So he's like, you know what? My bad, dog. Shouldn't have said that. But Jericho's like, no. You did the right thing. If anything, this is an advantage for me. Because I only need one arm to beat this piece of shit Nick Patrick.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Just a promo that was just kind of bleh.
Yeah.
Just bleh. It's like my least anticipated match on World War III.
No.
Yeah. But it should be something that I'm like ready to see because I should want to see Nick Patrick get killed, but I just don't.
But the thing with that promo, the reason it kind of fell so flat is because nothing comes out of it.
No.
Like, the match isn't changed.
No.
like it's staying the same. So it's like at that, like why even do that? Like you could just skip that whole thing if nothing about the match is going to change. Right?
Randomness. So now,
yes.
The NWO featuring Hollywood Hulk Hogan comes out, and they are coming to confront the commentary desk, more specifically, Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, because Bobby Heenan hightails it out of there.
He runs right the fuck out of there.
Like, as NWO is coming out, Bobby the Brain Heenan's like, yeah, I'm out of here. Yeah. I'm gone.
See ya.
And I thought he was joking, but when NWO came to the desk, he was not there.
Gone. So Hogan is there. He confronts Eric Bischoff, and he says, "Tell everybody that I'm a bigger icon than that no good red-headed Roddy Piper."
And then Bischoff's like, I guess some people might disagree with that. And Hogan's like,
"Tell him I'm the icon."
Okay, you're the icon.
All right, now tell everybody that I'm a bigger Hollywood star than that no good Roddy Piper.
Well, some people might disagree.
Tell them I'm the bigger Hollywood star.
Okay, all right, you're the bigger Hollywood star.
All right. Now, tell them that if I stood on my bank account, brother, and Roddy stood on his bank account, that I'd be so much bigger. Tell the world that I'm 10 times richer than Roddy Piper.
Well, some people might disagree.
Tell them that I'm richer.
This was so fucking weird.
It was bonkers.
It was so. But by the time they got to the money part, I'm like, this can't be scripted. He must be going.
Shit to say.
He must be going off the top of it because no sane person would talk like this.
Yes, Eric Bischoff is forced to say everything.
Oh my god!
And then Hollywood is like, okay, now that we've settled that, carry on. But
that's all he wanted.
That's all he wanted. But then, right after that, Diamond Dallas Page comes out for a promo and is immediately interrupted by the Wolf Pack, I'm going to call them, because it's the Outsiders and Six, presenting the Giant.
Yeah.
So they confront DDP because they're trying to recruit DDP to the NWO.
And again, we don't know what DDP is at this moment.
Yeah.
He's a badass, cowardly face heel.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Heely face and facey heel.
Yeah.
Yes. So DDP says they cut into my promo time last time. They're causing me all of this grief, all of this headache. And then the Outsiders come out and literally all they say is, "You don't get it? You didn't figure it out? You didn't figure it out? Did you get it? Did you get it?" He didn't get it. He's not getting it.
And Six is like, I get it. And they're like, we know you get it. Yeah, but he doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it.
And then I love, because then the Giant is like, hey, why don't we just grab, he's right there. Let's just grab him. Let's beat him up like we do everyone else. And then they're like, oh, you don't get it.
You don't get it either.
You don't get, and you can see the Giant just being like, what the fuck is going on?
So then Kevin Nash goes and he says, tonight, something very, very beautiful is going to happen tonight. And then Diamond Dallas Page, only half off mic, half on mic. He's like, "No, you gotta love the last time you met me myself, high five."
And yeah, they just walk in. They're like, he doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it.
Nobody gets it.
And I just like, again, this was the craziest half an hour of anything I've ever seen. But what made me love this part is just the Giant's like dumbfounded face. He's just like, they're like, what the fuck? It's like everyone knew about like this.
Yeah.
Like I think he genuinely didn't know because he was just like, what the fuck? What are you guys talking about? And everyone is like, he doesn't.
Who gets it? Who doesn't get it? I don't understand.
This was the craziest half hour I've ever fucking seen ever.
Lord of mercy. Match number 6, it is Bobby Eaton versus Jeff Jarrett.
For a second, I thought we were like in fucking the NWA or something.
Yeah,
this was a fucking throwback. God damn.
Yeah, honestly. So, unfortunately, I don't have any notes for this match. I was kind of bored to tears. I'm gonna be honest.
After that, but I was able to, because it was a really short match. There's nothing real crazy happened.
Mm-hmm.
You had Jeff Jarrett doing his little strutting thing,
of course,
that apparently is his now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we start off with Bobby Eaton trying to throw Jeff with like a one of those judo tosses.
Yes, yeah.
Doesn't happen. Jeff then reverses it. He does it himself.
Yeah.
Struts
probably.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as he throws Bobby Eaton, he does a little strut because he does that after every move down.
Basically.
Jeff is showboating the entire fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby takes advantage of this, lands some rights on Jeff. They go to the outside, they brawl a little bit. Nothing too crazy.
No.
Jeff slams Bobby into the barricade, into the ring post. They come back into the ring. Jeff hits a suplex, put Bobby in a figure 4, and wins. Then Ric Flair comes down.
Yeah.
And they strut their stuff together.
Yeah.
Mean Gene then comes into the ring to do an interview with Jeff about his upcoming match with the Giant.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's trouble within the Horsemen.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, everything's good.
Yeah.
Then Ric Flair grabs the mic. He's like, hey, I have a message for the rest of the Horsemen. This guy's in.
Yeah, this guy's the one.
He is a horseman. Yeah. He's in. And then they just...
Can you dance all night and dance a little longer? Can you stay out all night and stay out a little longer? Woo! Sting is in the rafters.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, Sting is in the rafters. He's watching over. He's looming ever so.
He picked the worst match to do that too, because that was a stinker. That was a stinker.
Did nothing for me. Mm-mm. All right. Big Bubba Rogers
versus Jim Powers.
Somehow we've circled back to Bubba. Because the main thing here is, what the hell is going on with this match? Why is this match here? It serves no purpose.
Listen, we are 18 episodes in. I think we've done like 5.
Seriously?
Where Big Bubba isn't in it.
God. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know why this match is happening.
And it's so short.
Yeah,
too.
But sure enough, here we go. So, Bubba versus Powers. Bubba tries to bring the power, but ends up missing the corner splash. Bischoff needs to reiterate that Roddy Piper is not here. Okay?
Not in the building.
Can't get hold of him.
Mm-hmm.
Just some rumors
and listen,
here.
Eric is trying. He is trying his fucking best.
He is.
He just can't
reach him. Can't do it. So Powers tries to get some offense in, but Bubba with a massive uppercut. It was a sweet uppercut. And then gets him on the ropes. He does the classic, the slide out under the ropes, the big uppercut right to the chin.
Yep.
Bubba is working over Powers here for a little bit. Tries for a corner move, but Powers gets the foot up. And then 10 buckle shots. Mm-hmm. All right, there you go. Then a knee lift sends Big Bubba down. But sure enough, the man, the myth, the legend, Jim Powers goes for an offensive maneuver, gets caught in the boss man slam, 1-2-3 victory.
This is the old school RKO because he hits it out of... It's so smooth. Jesus. Like, the match would just be flowing normally, and he'll just randomly hit it.
Just bam.
For the win.
And I don't get it. I don't understand it. But somehow, this is the most protected maneuver. Like, this is Hogan leg drop a doom. This is on par with any protected finisher that you know.
Oh my.
No one can, and it's just one. And no one gets out of the slam.
That's the thing about it. Every other protected move, there's a sequence of events that leads up to that move where you're like, okay, the finish is coming. or like here comes the leg drop, here comes the tombstone, whatever it is. There's things that happen. This is just like mid-match. He'll just be like, "Fuck it,
bam, we're going home,"
and that's it. Like it's never like a natural ending where you're like, "This was a good match."
I wonder if that's it. I wonder if he's calling it in the ring.
He's just like, "I'm done,"
and somebody just gives him a time, and he's just like, "I'll tell you when I'm done."
Because one, it doesn't happen naturally. Every time it happens, you're always like, "Wait, that's it." And it doesn't happen when his opponent's doing a move. His opponent's just doing something. You don't know what it is. His opponent might be running the ropes. Yeah. He might be climbing, the ropes. And out of nowhere, it's just like, bam.
Yeah. Boss man slam, 1, 2, 3.
And then you're just like looking like, wait, what the fuck?
Wow. Wow.
Fucking weird.
Boss man, yes. Excuse me, Big Bubba. Member of the Dungeon of Doom, so I guess maybe it's to put over the dungeon a little bit.
Yeah, because they did reference the dungeon a little bit.
All right.
And I think he did, like at the end of the match, he did point to the camera. I was like, 4 horsemen, you're going down. Yes. So I think that's the thing.
All right, whatever. Match number 8.
Eddie in singles action tonight.
Yes, with Chris Benoit. Yes, the main event of Nitro, really. The last match on the card. Match on the card, Benoit versus Guerrero. Mm-hmm. So we both watched this one this time. So we have some notes.
We wrote some stuff down this time.
We did it. Okay, so let's start it off. We've got the speed on display by both of these men. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Eddie Guerrero.
Yep.
Ends up trying for another tilt-a-whirl, but gets reversed. Monkey flip reversed as well. But then is taken down by Benoit.
We then get a promo from Kevin Sullivan.
That's right.
Member of the Dungeon of Doom.
Yep, leader of the Dungeon.
Yeah, leader of the Dungeon of Doom. And he's talking Benoit, of course, a member of the Four Horsemen. So I guess that's
and talks to Nancy, saying, "No, he's a real man," and needs to tell Benoit that he's still a real man. Look at your face. Eddie with his classic senton back into the ring from over the top rope and ends in a 2 count. Benoit hits the back suplex. Arm drags, takedown by Benoit. He starts to work the arms, starts to put in the control with the headlock, going for a series of different types of submissions and tie-ups. Northern Lights suplex with the arm trapped behind the back by Eddie, to Eddie. More tying up submission attempts. Lightning speed by Benoit. And I have to commend Eric Bischoff on commentary. He's calling the moves. He's calling the action. He's staying tight with it. Okay. And he's putting over the fact that Benoit is probably the best wrestler in the world at that time. Benoit's really in there, and Bischoff is right there.
I love that the bare minimum from him is impressive.
Well,
that's how bad he's been on commentary that now he's like, all right, this is decent.
Listen, you thought that Bischoff was bad on commentary?
Like, he wasn't great on commentary.
Oh, wow, interesting.
No?
Interesting, okay.
To each his own.
All right. Well, the reverse by Eddie Guerrero out of the powerbomb, finally. We go to commercial break. Once we come back from commercial, Eddie is from the ground up into a Hurricane Rana. That was fucking impressive. But Benoit with a press slam out of nowhere to keep control. Near fall. Eddie tries to fight back but gets a superplex instead off the top rope. Eddie is able to send Chris Benoit to the outside with a Hurricane Rana. Fighting outside, Eddie is firing up, but Woman is pulled in front. A small package as they get back into the ring, but no dice. A back suplex by Eddie Guerrero. Eddie to the top to try to go for the frog splash, but misses. Chris Benoit reverses the Hurricane Rana into a roll-up for a win in an astoundingly excellent match.
Yeah. I was surprised how little offense Eddie got in.
Yeah.
I know they're building up the Four Horsemen, but I was genuinely surprised that he didn't get that much moves in.
Well, it's kind of the same thing with the DDP match from Havoc. Like, we were very surprised that he lost decisively.
Yeah.
Like, in an incredibly decisive fashion. And here he is here, not really getting all that much offense. Benoit is in control for a majority.
Like, he'll get a move in every now and then, but for the most part, it was
a Benoit match. Yeah, it was a Benoit featurette. But, an excellent match. I mean, this was fundamentally flawless.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't a spot out of place.
Well, look at the two that were in it.
God damn, man.
Like, that was a perfect match down to even the manager with woman. Like, everyone was just, the highest level. Of wrestling.
Certainly, these two are the best in the world at the time.
And I just want to figure out, when does the Eddie Guerrero push happen? Because this does not look great. Back to back,
not looking solid.
Getting dominated in back to back matches like that. That's weird.
Yes,
that's weird.
But here we go. Bischoff hits the ring.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
Yes, he hits the ring for he's just trying to say that they're trying their best.
He basically apologizes to the crowd. He tells the crowd that he's been trying his best to contact Piper, even going up to the ranch and doing all this stuff, talking to the lawyers. He can't get a hold of the lawyers and all that. But then
do you hear it, John?
You hear it, buddy.
Do you hear it? The bagpipes are playing.
Bischoff hears it.
Oh my God! Bischoff hears it immediately. Bischoff is like, "What the fuck?"
Which is, it's so hilarious. Him going from like, "Hey man, we just can't get in contact with him," yada yada yada. Then the bagpipe hit, and then he goes into straight like, "Hey, what the hell is going on?"
Like, off mic, he's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is this?" It's absolutely brilliant, but great acting here by Eric Bischoff.
Amazing acting.
Roddy Piper comes on down and let the interrogation begin.
Yep. He grabs the mic and he says, "I'm here to tell the truth.
Yes.
A lot of lies have been said, but I'm here to tell the truth. Yes. And even if you've never watched a single minute of WCW television, you kind of know what's happening."
So we have the clips here that we're gonna play, because the interrogation, it basically starts with Piper saying, people have been calling me a coward. People have been saying that I'm not the man, that I'm ducking Hogan and all that stuff. And he just goes, "There's been a lot of things happening here and a lot of stuff going on, and you're a liar."
Yeah, he quotes a rap song.
Yes.
I've never heard it before, but apparently there's a rap song that mentions him.
Apparently.
And he quotes him, and then he points at Eric Bischoff, and he's like, "You're a liar."
Absolutely. And I mean, listen, we're going to play the clip here.
I understand somebody's calling me a coward. Saying that I'm afraid. There's a guy, his name is LL Cool J. He's a rapping kind of guy. He wrote a song that said, "You slapped Roddy Piper and you didn't get a hassle. You're a liar." I come here to talk about jerks and liars. First of all, how you doing? Having a nice time? I'm sorry? I've had better. You've had better? Such a great guy. So you flew all the way to Portland to get this fight. You talked to my managers to get this fight. What'd you find? First class coach? How'd you fly? First class coach? What was it? First class coach? How'd you fly? What airline? What airline? Be darned. And you come on up to my ranch. When you come up to my ranch, tell me, is the road crooked or is the road straight? Tell me, is the road crooked? I don't remember. Tell me something. You piece of shit. You are...
Yeah. So then he starts to interrogate Eric Bischoff,
Yes.
and he's like, "Oh well, since you've been trying to contact me, what's my phone number?
Yeah.
You've been up to the ranch, right?
How did you fly? How did you fly? Did you fly, coach? Did you fly? How did you fly?" And I was like, is the road crooked or is it straight? Is the road crooked or is it straight?
Well, what color's my fence?
Yeah. And unfortunately, he turns around and sees Giant running down.
Yeah.
So he has to like try and play it off like he didn't see him. And he grabs hold of him and he's like, "Yo, you piece of shit." But the NWO grabs him, and then Hollywood Hogan with the immortal words, "Play the clip."
Now that everybody realizes who everybody's working for, I mean, my God, this guy here was the foundation of the WCW. Now he works for the NWO.
Now, Eric Bischoff works for the NWO.
Yeah.
One hell of a reveal, sir.
Yeah.
One hell of a reveal. Eric Hogan bail as Roddy Piper tries to grab a hold of them but can't do it. The show goes off the air with Piper grabbing the mic. He says he'll be there at World War III. He'll have a contract in hand. No surrender, no retreat. What did you think of the reveal, my friend?
It was a really, really good reveal. I feel like it could have been a tiny bit better, but that's just me fucking nitpicking. But overall, it was a really, really good reveal. Something that, honestly, watching the other Nitros, it wasn't really alluded to that much. Like,
No.
Again, once you know the ending, of course, when you look back, you're like, oh yeah, he's lying about all this stuff. But when you're in it before knowing the reveal, you wouldn't have even figured, especially with Hogan coming out earlier and interrogate and like, kind of pressing him a little bit. So it's like they did a great job of keeping this as quiet as possible.
Certainly.
And they did little things throughout that kind of showed that they had someone working on the inside.
Yeah.
If Nick Patrick being like this ref that's under them, even them when they went to interrogate Bischoff, and when they went to interrogate DDP, they didn't come through the crowd.
That's right.
They came through the entrance.
Yes,
they had their own the music. They had their own lights.
Yep.
So like they gave little hints, but they did a great job of making sure that like no one saw this coming.
Yes, exactly.
Literally till the Giant comes out, then you're like, okay, something's up, right?
Yeah, an incredibly effective reveal that he joins the NWO. It's the first time on a national television stage that a heel authority figure will now be on TV on a regular basis. Eric Bischoff, we're going to see this character just, again, kind of like Hollywood Hogan. Once you're able to turn the heel switch on, this man explodes exactly like Hogan.
Yeah.
And the pairing and the merger of these two men are, oh my God, the amount of shit that they get into on Nitro. I highly suggest you pick up a couple of them. Just watching these two just hamming it the fuck up on the lead up to Starrcade in particular.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought incredibly effective, a great way to end a good episode of Nitro. I mean, from top to bottom, very few things to nitpick, very much like Halloween Havoc, in my opinion.
Agree to disagree a little bit there.
All right.
Agree to disagree.
Well, buddy, we're going to get right into it. We're going to do Match of the Night, Standout Star, and the Show Grade. Match of the night. It is Match of the Night, Standout Star, and the overall show grade. Just John, I'm going to start it off with you, buddy. What is your Match of the Night for Monday Nitro?
Match of the night. Sorry, keep rolling. I had a brain fart. It's because I was confusing his name with his new school name.
Okay.
La Parka versus Juventud Guerrero.
Oh, okay.
Because I was gonna say LA Park, and I'm like, no, that's now. That's
suitable.
No.
Understandable.
Yeah. So I had a little brain fart, but yeah, LA Park versus Juventud Guerrero.
Okay.
Amazing fucking match. Standout star. All right, let me give you my show review first.
Okay.
Because unlike you, this wasn't a great show for me match-wise. Because aside from that first match,
yes,
I didn't like anything else on here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking the Dean Malenko Ultimo Guerrero match. Ultimo Dragon, match. Great match. Dumbass fucking finish.
Fair.
French Canadians, American males.
Yeah.
Terrible fucking match. Terrible gimmick. Terrible everything.
Okay.
Hugh Morrison versus Lex Luger. I'm not even going to give you an explanation why I hated that. Johnny Grunge, Jericho, Bobby Eaton, Jeff Jarrett, Big Bubba, Jim Powers, Eddie in singles action.
Okay.
So there was just nothing there for me. So I gave the show like a 3 out of 5 just because
that's generous.
NWO to me did most of the work.
Okay.
The Hogan, the outsiders coming in, even as dumb as those things were, they were so from an entertainment point of view, great show. Okay. From a wrestling point of view, not so much. Great. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why my standout star here, I had. Shit.
Oh God! All right.
I'll go Hulk Hogan.
Oh God!
No.
Oh my God!
No. Eric Bischoff, maybe. I don't know.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Aside from the entertainment point of view, this whole thing was just like,
good heavens,
meh.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Not a good foray into WCW Nitro.
But I was entertained.
All right.
I was entertained. Okay. There was a lot of fun moments, a lot of funny moments.
Until the bell rings.
Then it's like, what? Like, they weren't terrible. Like, I wasn't turning off the matches.
Yes.
The matches were good enough that I was like, okay, I can watch this. But, it wasn't terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why it gets like a little, it gets a 3.
Fair enough.
It gets a 3.
Would you tune in to another episode of Nitro? So, because very much like Raw is War, I asked you, after watching one of those historic Monday Night Raws, would you tune in next week? Same with this one. A historic episode of Nitro in its own right. Would you tune in to the following week?
I would, just because the stories that they're telling, like the entertainment part of it with the NWO, the build up to Piper Hogan, Eric Bischoff being like, that stuff's great. So I will definitely tune in to watch more of that. Gotcha. And again, the cruiserweights, excelling. Exactly. You fucking have Parka and Guerrero. Even though the Dean Malenko match was bullshit, the ending, everything up to it was great.
Yes.
And you have Eddie in singles action, which was fucking great as well too. So like, even though this wasn't the greatest episode, there's still things in there that like I would definitely want to go watch.
You sound like the WWE Network.
Listen,
in singles
anytime there's someone in singles action, I'm watching. I'm watching. Buddy.
Sure. All right, pal. All right. Well, my match of the night, I'm giving it to Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Benoit.
Okay.
Fundamentally flawless.
Yeah.
An excellent match and a good finish. But my standout star is Eric Bischoff. Unlike you, I enjoyed him on commentary. I was specifically paying attention because I've heard so much shit thrown at Bischoff, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going in thinking he's going to be the dirt worst. And he's not the best. He's not great, but that's not his role. His role was, and he did call wrestling moves. He did call action, but he also told story, and I think he obviously took more precedent in story. and getting over his own storyline that he has throughout the night. But even still, I think he carried himself pretty well. And then, of course, his highlight being the end segment himself. Fabulous acting. Excellent reveal. He's the guy at the helm of this thing. He's the guy running the ship, and I think he does it quite well. So he is my standout star over this course of Monday Nitro.
Okay, yeah, no, it makes. I feel like a lot of the heat that Eric Bischoff gets is because of his later career, and people don't give him kind of a fair shake, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure. My show grade is the same as you. It's a 3-star. Like I said, I found a lot of stuff to like in this show. The cruiserweight action were all of the cruiserweight action matches were good to me. Eddie Guerrero and Benoit, as I said, very good. I did not like the matches that didn't feature the cruiserweights. Hugh Morris, Lex Luger, not great. Yeah. Jericho, grunge, weird clash of styles. But as I said at the top of the show, and as I will keep on reiterating, there is so much here.
Exactly.
You have anything that you want. You have the classic action if you want Eaton and Jarrett. The Canadians and the oh my god,
American males,
Jesus, for your tag team bread and pudding. Right, you've got the Eddie Guerrero and Benoit for the technical savvy, the luchadors, and then you have the thread of the NWO.
Because again, like when like you say, would you tune in next week for a show? But even though the show got a 3, you look through the card and you look through everything that happened. If you're back in '96, you want to see what happens with this LA Park guy that came out of nowhere. La Parka guy that came out of nowhere and fucking, beat Juventud Guerrera. You want to see the guy with the 8 titles again. What the fuck was that, right?
Where is that going?
Lex Luger's whole win streak, what's going to happen with that? So there's so much, the NWO goes without saying,
Sting being a thing.
Sting.
Ric Flair for your legends and the 4 Horsemen.
The 4 Horsemen. Is the Giant gonna get it?
Is he gonna get it?
So
you never know.
So even though the show isn't a 4, not every show is gonna be a 4 or 5 star, but there's so much stuff that you want to see what happens, what goes on. Even the Jericho grunge match wasn't great, but you want to see what happens with Jericho and Nick Patrick. So there's so much stuff in there, right? It was just a slow episode in my opinion.
I would say this is average episode of Nitro with a historic element.
Exactly.
That is what probably gives it the extra points, because you have just a standard old episode, but you have the injection of Piper and the intrigue of the guy that's running the show now joining the NWO. That has in of itself a lot of power in it, and a fantastic way to do a go-home episode to intrigue for the World War III.
And my thing too is that, again, we're watching the show from our time now, so we know what all of this is going to play out to be. And not only that, but we know what everyone's career is going to be after this. So, it's hard to judge it because, who would have known that this is going to be a historic episode? Or, who would have known that, Jim Power probably wasn't going to get over, So at the time, they probably thought they had a banger of episodes. So, but this was, again, an average-ish episode with a historic moment.
There you go.
Stuck right in between.
Absolutely.
Right in between the cheeks.
There you go. And as we move on, we're moving right into World War III 60-man battle royal for a shot at the WCW Heavyweight Championship of the World at a later time, because Starrcade is going to be reserved.
Not ready for this at all.
Oh, but you gotta be ready, John. You gotta be ready. And as for you, gentle listeners, thank you so much for joining us. I leave it to you, Just John. Where can they find us on the socials?
As always, you can find us on Twitter at the Colossal Tussle 1. Make sure you interact with us on there. Send us tweets, memes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
On YouTube at the Colossal Tussle. Like the kids say, like, subscribe, share.
Yeah.
You can find us on Audible, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, of course, Anchor.
Yes.
What else?
We have the Amazon Music.
Amazon Music. I should write these down.
You should.
Apple Music is coming right around the corner.
Yes.
Right around the corner.
Eventually.
But yeah, follow us on all socials. The Colossal Tussle. You'll find us on there. Interact with us. Give us your feedback. Tell me how great I am. There's only so much I can do about KJ Johnson.
Yeah. What can you do about me? But until the next time we meet for World War III,
I'm gonna call it sick.
We are out!